Hello, welcome. I'm Beth Pipe, and we are here today to look at how to understand non-verbal communication in the workplace. It's something that many of us will kind of do on autopilot a little bit anyway, but what we're here to do today is to kind of consciously take a look at the topic. And even before I dive straight into it, I would say that this, even though we're doing best part of an hour's session, it does feel like it's still very much an introduction to an absolutely enormous topic. So there are things where I'm going to say I won't have all the answers today, but what we're going to try and do is cover the key areas and give you some pointers in each one of those areas, and also understand a little bit about what's going on in the background when it comes to nonverbal communication. So specifically, what are we going to cover? So during this session, we are going to look at the definition of scope and think about what is nonverbal communication, and also why it plays such an important role in how we communicate. I will forewarn you that the first chunk of this session isn't actually looking at, oh, well, this means that and that could mean this. It's actually looking at getting a grounding in nonverbal communication and understanding more about where it comes from, because nonverbal communication is very much, if you like, if it was a theatre, it's like the front of house, it's what you're seeing. But what's really important, what makes the front of house, if you like, the way it is what's going on behind the scenes. So we really, if we're going to tackle nonverbal communication, we need to think about what's driving nonverbal communication, which means we need to think about what's going on behind the scenes, as well as what we're actually portraying. We're going to think about the whole body, not rather than just the face, but we will touch on the fact that actually when a lot of us are communicating like this, either on a Zoom call, a Teams call, WebEx, online, about how that impacts us, why we feel a little bit uneasy, how we've only got this and sort of, I don't know, to hear, to look at, and why that makes us uneasy. And then some of the challenges of when we're in meetings and people have got the cameras off, why does that feel uncomfortable? So we will cover some of that. We're going to try and look at the relevance of nonverbal communication in 4 key areas. So we're going to look at conflict management, leadership presence, client interactions, and team dynamics. Again, I can't give you chapter and verse on those. What we can do is what I really want to do in this session is just start the thought process. So you can start to think more about these areas and think about what's going on behind the scenes a little bit more in each one of those areas. We're also going to try and bust some nonverbal communication myths, because there are loads of them about, and I'm sure we've all heard some of them. And, you know, hopefully a lot of people watching this are joining it with a good degree of cynicism, because really we should. There are some things we can learn about nonverbal communication, but there's also a lot of misinformation out there. We're going to look at how we can maybe boost trust and authority with nonverbal communication. But again, just reminding you that that's all coming back to the fact that we're going to talk a lot about the grounding and what's going on behind the scenes with nonverbal communication to start with. And then we've got 3 slides at the end that cover 3 key elements about how to read and use nonverbal communication wisely. Just kind of like, you know, things to bear in mind the whole time when we're talking about nonverbal communication.